at my instructor Frank Harris's home, I met Bert Tilstrom. Bert Tilstrom is the man who did Kukla, Fran and Ollie.
Oh, right, yeah.
The Kuklapolitan players, that goes way back.
Yeah.
I met Bert Tilstrom. And I was involved in a show with Bill Baird. Bill Baird, also another amazingly famous puppeteer.
He worked in the back.
He did endless shows.
Sorry.
And I was involved, I worked in one show with Bill Baird there. And I also did a show under the aegis of the American Theater Wing. That was a volunteer thing, so again, I had to be a professional puppeteer. But after leaving New York, when I came to Washington, I received a letter from the membership chair of the National Capital Puppetry Guild telling me about the wonders of this guild. And I thought, hey, that's really exciting. So I joined, and once I joined this guild, then I became totally involved again. One of the great things that we did, and we still do, is that the puppetry guilds in this country, we have festivals, we have puppetry festivals. And when you go to a festival, and I've been to many of them now around the country, there are different cities. This is for the Puppeteers of America. It's total immersion. You eat, drink, and sleep puppets. There are workshops, performances, and discussions. You meet with puppeteers, and you just learn. You learn about the materials, and you learn about all, better ways to manipulate, better ways to do your costumes. If you've got problems with how to costume a certain difficult puppet, like sometimes a puppet, you make a puppet and buy gorgeous material to make a wonderful outfit, wonderful costume, and when you try to move that figure, the fabric did not move. So you have to choose very carefully every aspect. And I know costumers, they have to work very carefully with the weight of the fabric, and besides just the way it holds up and the way it looks. Well, so much for all of that. We're kind of coming up to the present day. My involvement now is with the National Capital Puppetry Guild, and many of the members of the guild are professional puppeteers, meaning that they earn their livelihood by doing puppet shows. And we have some of those companies here today, and I would like to ask a few of the performers, starting with my friend Sandy from the back there, just to identify yourself and the name of your company.
Puppets and More.
Puppets and what?
More. M-O-R-E. Puppets and More.
Puppets and More, that's Sandy's. And Heidi?
Heidi Rugg with Barefoot Puppet Theater out of Richmond, Virginia.
Yep, that's the partner. Before we go on, this is a little something I wanted you to wear from the beginning. It's a corsage that I made, and it's a finger puppet, Doris.
Oh, that's
cute.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear. And you've got your heels shirt on, of course.
So then after this, you can just use that, as a finger puppet.
Thank you. That's lovely. Thank you. And you could watch, this is another aspect of the theater arts. When you're a puppeteer, as a rule, you make your own puppets. First you decide what kind of a story do you want to tell, what puppets do you need to tell that story, the making of the puppet, and usually the puppeteer makes his own, because it's a relationship. You kind of get to associate with them. And sometimes the character of the script changes according to the way your puppet is working out. But you have to worry about theater lighting and sound, the music, the curtains, everything. And especially if you're a one-man puppet show, or one-person puppeteer, you've got to have like 6 hands. I remember having a tape-to-tape reel for my musical accompaniment, but I had a foot pedal to operate that, and I had a special curtain control that I could operate both the curtains, open the 2 curtains with just one little ring. You have to devise all kinds of things. And there's so many uses for the arts of puppetry. For example, in entertainment, one of the most prominent was this entertainment, which we're going to share with you today in a few minutes. But besides entertainment, puppetry serves a great purpose in education. I talked with the puppeteer this morning. He called from, he could not get here today, another member of our guild. And he is involved with a Wolf Trap. Wolf Trap has a program for getting puppeteers to go into the schools to teach teachers how to use puppetry in teaching. And it's a very useful tool. And in fact, throughout history, puppets or dolls or figures have been used for education. So teaching is another one of the great purposes of puppetry. One interesting thing that people might not think about is therapy. It has been demonstrated that children will respond to puppets, children who would not respond to an adult person, because, for example, a child who hasn't spoken, who doesn't speak, and the adult staff can't tempt him or coax him to speak. But if you use a puppet, the child hasn't responded to the puppet because the puppet is not threatening. It's small, it's a little guy like him. It's not a big person. And that has been demonstrated that puppetry used in therapy is really very, very significant in this world of ours. So, my dears, I think we have about come to the top. You can come up and look at the puppets and play with them later if you wish.
Can we
Yeah,
see
ma'am.
the one with the red hair?
What then?
The one with the red hair.
This guy. Oh, I don't think they saw him. You did not see him?
No.
Of course, buying fabric to costume these puppets and finding little tiny designs.
Doris, did you draw a sketch before you started to do the puppet, like the expression on the face?
I'm sorry, ask again?
Did you do a sketch of what you wanted to make? You just like freestyle?
No, I just worked with the clay, but I guess I had some concept in mind. And I also learned that any place, if you're working in clay, and then you're putting plastic wood on that,
Right.
to not have too many undercuts, because if there are places where there's a figure, some place where you have, kind of a niche or notch that goes down, that's very hard to get that out of a wooden mask.
Yeah, amazing.
But if this were just in the clay head stage, before I would put the plastic wood, we'll put the plastic wood over, no, I have to think. No, before I put the plastic wood on it, I actually made a slit and put a string through the front of the face and around this way, so that when the plaster of Paris was on it, I already had a dividing line, so that the cast was made in sections. I could remove sections of it and later piece it all together. You wouldn't want to know.
We can't see her face.
But I think now we're up to the entertainment portion of the show. Thank you for listening. I've enjoyed talking to you about my puppets and puppetry because I love the subject. And now my friend Sam. Oh, yes, forgive me. Jeff is just saying, if you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, questions.
How long does it take to
Yeah.
make questions?
How long does it take to make it from beginning to end?
A puppet?
Good question.
I could just work on it maybe for a week, but that would be nights. Like I stayed up very, very late many nights sewing on these puppets and to sew the plastic wood. I would put that in the bathtub. Nobody could take a bath that night because I had buckshot, because you put like the plastic wood shape of the head, that could change overnight, but you have to keep it till it really sets. So that would be soaking in water overnight, filled with buckshot for weight to hold it all down. But then you take it out and you dry it. That's one reason that a couple of my puppet heads are not here, is because over time the wood shrank. And when the wood shrank, there were several layers of paint on the surface, and then the paint cracked like an eggshell. If you can picture, it's a head, a wooden head that shrank like that. It got smaller. And what happened there was that the paint on the surface just cracked. So some of those, as I said, they're in the downtown right now. So, but we have puppeteers who can answer questions if you have any questions in the world. Also, I hope some puppeteers may come out of this day, because everybody's got some desire to perform, and look how much fun I'm having.
No, that's wonderful.
Any questions? Because Jeff, we got puppeteers who can answer questions. Okay.
Doris?
Yes.
Doris, I want to know which show you did with Bill Baird. I didn't know that, I knew that you had like sort of studied under him, but I didn't know you performed with
It
him.
wasn't one of Bill's own shows. It was when in Washington D.C. there was a big conglomerate show. Many puppeteers were there, and Bill was one of the performers. And this was back. I think it was an anniversary of the WPA project.
Oh, cool.
Does that ring any bells?
Would that be the 1980 National Festival?
Well, the 1980 festival, I didn't even talk about that, but it's magnificent. We had in Washington, we had an international festival in 1980. It was glorious. Shari Lewis was there, and Bert Tilson, and Bill Baird, and so many notable puppeteers. It was a glorious show. And that was at the Kennedy Center, so that was a very big deal. And there were puppeteers all over town that week. Met people from England, and later visited in London, etc. Good times, meet a lot of people at these festivals. And you've got something in common, you love of puppetry and puppetry. Thank you for letting me
question for
enjoy
you.
myself
Go
by
ahead.
talking about it.
A question, did you see any of the puppeteers on America's Got Talent?
Oh, that was good.
Now we're going to see Sandy's show, which I
I
have not
don't think
seen.
she
didn't hear you.
Do it again, ask again. It's a good
On
question.
America's Got Talent, like the ventriloquists.
Oh, yes. I forgot to say, but ventriloquism is also a branch of puppetry, which is a whole other subject. Another time I'll tell you my experience with the puppeteers and the festivals I went to in Las Vegas.
Ooh, to come back again.
Did you get a better view? Is that thing?